Epa. Oh, damn. Whoops. Epa. Bussara, 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 buscas. Ahora sí. Vamos. Babushka. Barsu. 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 Justa. Justa. Barsu. Okay. All right. Well, that was me taking my sweet ass time. All right. A ver. Buenas tardes, ustedes. Good afternoon, everybody. Um, name's Camilo. I'm a reptile. I'm an artist, digital artist, illustrator, animator, graphic design artist. Um, I'm new to the stream, so once again, I know probably nobody's gonna see this stream, or unless you do, I do have a chance to see the anyways to see the stream as well. Um, I am an artist, and that doesn't matter. Today is a special day. It's the day before TikTok completely goes away. I managed to see it in my streaming today. Did you guys see my streaming? The title down below. Uh, yeah, TikTok's about to go, bro. I'm gonna say TikTok's finna go today, but not except the whole world's gonna get TikTok, except us.
Some, yeah, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? However, I am
Also, as well, eating right as well too. I'm eating my lunch, which is the funny thing. But um, as well, I'm going to do some drawings and I'll probably do some animation. I haven't done an animation in a minute to touch on it, but I've been doing nothing but illustrations, character design. I am still trying to work on a comic book, although it's not for everybody. Um, but I hope you guys, anybody who sees this stream or enjoys watching this stream, I hope you guys support me by just subscribing to my channel. Subscribe down below. You also go to my social media on Instagram and on Twitter X. Please like, subscribe, and follow my Twitter X and my Instagram to see more content in my on my this streaming in this channel. I want to to help me be known, and we'll see you to it then. Hope you enjoy the stream. Yeah. Well, monitor. Manny the monitor. Oh, he's doing a favor for the whole community of TikTok. But when I finish sketching it, I'll let you know. Yo, this streaming literally killed me. I mean, last time I'm streaming, I was just so mad. I was just so mad. I was streaming so perfectly, and then forgot to plug my charger because my charger runs out battery. I don't have a PC. Yeah, sorry. Switching again. I don't have I have two laptops. One that is a fucking dinosaur and a very new one I had for 2 years. So that's my problem. And once again, so yeah, I'm at. I'm just streaming right now. So I'm drawing my boy Manny. I haven't drawn Manny the Monitor in a minute. It's an original character I made. Actually, I published a little kid's book. I think back in 2017. That was when I was 17 years old at the time. I was very, I was jit. I was a hella jit. You know, I haven't drawn much of him. I have another character I was supposed to draw, but I don't really use this character anymore. It's kind of a selfish thing. Kind of selfish of me. How my characters are gonna live if I don't believe? That's the bullshit part. But he's doing the favor of shutting down TikTok. I mean, yeah, he's doing the favor of shutting down TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I'm just gonna be real. I don't use TikTok. It's funny. I don't use TikTok for anything at all. I don't know. But tomorrow is where it dies completely. I think, like they said, coming this Sunday is the day TikTok is done. It's not going to be allowed in America. I was like, oh shit. Well, I gotta say a farewell. We gotta make all these people on Reddit, all these, all these people who are TikTok users are now flocking to China. Xiao I think that's called. Xiao Xingwo, I think. Literally translates to red note. Red note. Literally, red note. We already know what that means. If you all know what that means, red note, then it's hilarious how these people on TikTok would go to a place like that because TikTok was made by China. Now I don't want to do any more politics. I mean I'm already like everybody knows who won and all that election stuff. You know, but yet again, most of those people are coming after us too. You know, all that shit. But in the end, I just want to see how far these people will go because turns out that China ain't cool with with that weird identity shit. They're gonna realize, but it's funny that they're now called the TikTok refugees, bro. I mean, not letting them knowing that Instagram is could be the one. I'm forever an Instagram and a YouTube person and Pornhub. Not just kidding, because now Pornhub's no more here in Florida.
Ain't that some shit? Oh yeah. I'll put this way to kind of get the full picture. I just draw that as my avatar, I guess. Might have to get references for this bitch. Damn! Have to get references for this bitch. I know that I need some TSF money. I'm still on the front, on just the top. There you go. 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 Thank God I passed 6 minutes for that bullshit. Regularly, because I had an issue of leaving my shit unplugged. So, what is to be on TikTok actually? Because I guess TikTok, to be personal, I think I like check around TikTok. Actually, you know, I have a chance. Here we go again. Bah, that shit happens. Like as I'm drawing. Well, it's bullshit. There's a little bit of bullshit. Let's go to TikTok. On Twitter. What kind of shit they're saying right now? All right, on TikTok. Y'all, OMG. Apparently this is the girl I had a relationship with within the TikTok. That's funny. Look at that, all that bullshit they're saying right now. Me like TikTok. Me who never used TikTok. That's exactly me right there. That's me right there, right? All around here. There's TikTok just to see an artist of mine and maybe bike life. See an artist, a few VTubers, and bike life. Maybe some EDM too. Yeah, I was too. But this is funny. They won't ban OnlyFans. They won't ban Pornhub. They did it here in Florida. They will ban TikTok, and this is why. Let's see what they say. That's some Pakistani shit. Since TikTok is being banned, here's a video of cats acting out with a Lion King. Going viral over 5 minutes. You'll have to go through me. Alright. These young guns, big mad over TikTok being shut down. Don't know we already lived through the demise of Yahoo and AOL. That's true. Fuck. Yes, that's true. That's so true. What happened to Yahoo.com? Yeah. There was MySpace. No, we still have MySpace. There still is MySpace, actually. It's just bigger. It's just like corporate now. Looks more corporate. I checked out the MySpace, the social media MySpace account. I once had, but I kind of deleted it because it was long ago. I barely used it and I was a teenager at the time. But like of the 2010s, I was like when I just became what, almost 12 years old. Yeah, no, I was a kid. I was 12 years old when I had my first social media account. But then that was a bit MySpace and Gmail. Now everything messaging is everything now. A lot of messaging. But that doesn't change the fact that there are some sites that need to go. There are some that it's natural. Hotmail? Who the fuck use Hotmail? I'll tell you that straight up. Who the fuck use Hotmail? Somebody along the way must tell me. Somebody, if anybody sees this stream, tells me, please tell me, who the fuck still uses Hotmail? Who uses eBumps World or Newgrounds? don't repost this video of a white woman kicking her baby in the back for the TikTok video. Oh my God, that's horrible. The White House has responded to TikTok's threat to shut down in the US, calling it a stunt. No, it's coming. Nothing is more American than banning TikTok before AR-15s. Of course, Second Amendment. Here in Florida, we practice our Second Amendment. I know some, like there's some yee hee haw trigger happy white folks, and yee hee haw trigger happy loving black folks and Latinos here who practice their Second Amendments. Oh yes, all those three. Asians, definitely too. Everybody of all colors, of all races, using that. Because, bro, this is America, bro. Don't catch us from slipping up. Ooh, ooh, look at my whipping up. This is America. Don't catch you slipping on. But that's not true America, anyways. True America is from the tipping head part of Greenland all the way to the tiptoes beneath the asshole and penis tip of South America. One Piece editor's gotta be the best, and actually, maybe not. I know the One Piece has getting better animations these days. Well, I guess it's a well-known series. It is the biggest series on the planet, the longest running show the world's ever seen, the world's ever watched. And One Piece has been around for nearly 1999, 1998. Like, goddamn, that shit's old. 2 decades. I'm at that point yet. I only reached up to like 10 seasons of One Piece. I can't do it. 20 seasons? No, in fact, 24 seasons now. Hell. Bro, watch this one. How did criminals even get caught in the 1800s? I low-key could have pulled historical numbers. My brother in Christ. I'm not sure that is a time period you want to go back to. Nah, nigga, you would have. Yeah, hold up, damn, very diabolical, my brother in Christ. Jacques. No, that's diabolical. Motherfucker be hella diabolical right there. That's funny shit. China blocks FB, Facebook. China blocks Twitter. China blocks TikTok. Huh. USA blocks TikTok. How? Exactly. Nah, says they want to bring out their hypocrisy. They want to bring out their hypocrisy to that. right here. I don't know about I'm drawing the legs perfectly because the things of being an artist now you gotta have better perspectives. Take it away. Go back to the Xbox games. Yes. Right there. That sounds good. No, I just got to put in some music. That's all. Show's gonna go down anyways. This Xbox came out good before it got rolled out. That's the bullshit part. What else they say, bro? China. Isn't it wild that China blocked that the Chinese Communist Party created TikTok in their country, and then blocked it for the people so that they can spy on the Americans. Ain't that weird? And then ain't that funny? Until we decided to block it. And they're like, oh shit, what happened? Well, looks like they got what they got. I just hope that Twitter gets a shutdown too, because it's toxic too. And funny enough, our boy Elon Musk also has a tendency of censoring some people who don't hail by the values of America. Yes, there are censorships here in this country. I don't want to get too political because I'm not like guys like Hassan Abi or Coach Colin. Those two. Coach Colin used to be more like a person that like more of a coach, like a motivational coach that helps kids who don't have fathers. I don't know. He's called Coach Colin, the YouTuber. Um, he likes for that he does brings out motivational like knowledge of hard shit, all that kind of life skill that quite is vital to us. Then after that, he just became a Joe Rogan fan. think the legs gotta be. I don't know. It's a reptile for a reason. So, then I have this. You know what? I could give him this. I can just randomly. It's a sketch, so good draw this. I'm just trying to figure out where do I draw this person. So now do that. Do trace. There you go. There we go. Sus. Sus. Right here. This guy, the fence. It took me some while. It took me some time to kind of like update his face. Not really. It's just that like his clothes are still simple. But I tend to draw him that way. I just don't. I never updated his face much. It's just this very hard to find an accurately fittable cartoon style. Since I'm more comic, I'm more of the guy that it's more heavily inspired by. I'm more like it's a Valorous kind of inspired. I was gonna be front with you on that. An artist, yeah, cartoons. You can add this boy a little subscriber. So I can add to draw switch. I'll draw switch too. No, I will draw switch. It's for TikTok, anyways. Menace is a drawing that posture. I don't. Oh, yet again, he's a card. It's jungle. Yeah, it's jungle. Right here. Oh, forgot about that. I was so caught up, and then I was drowsy up. I was drowsy a bit. Like, oh my god, how am I being drowsy a bit? See what else they say. Oh yeah. Imagine living in a world where you can get arrested for saying don't kill children. Kill children because it might hurt the feelings of the killer. Oh yeah, right here. January shit, literally it's tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm able to post this on Sunday. Like I can post it on Sunday, but I don't know if I'm gonna get any people on Sunday. Try to stay up. Oh my god. About to get the itis. I was eating good food. I was eating good Colombian food from the food trucks. There's some food truck Colombian food. So shit. Give me something, bro. I'm almost full. boy. I'm already dazing? God damn it. I'm not even started. That's good. I like this music. Boy, man. Oh, I'm already dazing already. What the fuck? I'm completely a mess already. Bro, it's either me stream and have a shitty performance, or stream stay awake until I lose my and then my battery runs out. Ain't that some bullshit? Christ, man. Oh my god, that's the thing. Look at that. The statements. Anyways, back to this shit again. No. Again, I'm about to have that bullshit again. Anyways, statements issued today, but both the Biden, the White House, and the Department of Justice have failed to provide the necessary clarity to ensure that are integral to maintain TikTok's availability over 107 million Americans. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a direct statement to satisfy both the critical service and provide both critical to satisfy. Okay, Ha! Okay. Let's say that again. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers, assuring non-enforcement, unfortunate TikTok will be forced to go dark on tomorrow. Tomorrow! With that bullshit, they said. All right. There's some Japanese person said on TikTok. Said, this is about a third of it. I'm making a lot of waste. It's long. It's so long that you'll get bored halfway through. It's better to watch each one. Oh man, what a burn! What a burn! Like TikTok. Hey yo, some guy right here who's claims his holiness. Take OnlyFans away instead of TikTok. Go ahead and bless your boy with a follow. For real. Oh yeah, the unemployment line would run in the ocean. Yes. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Tick like OnlyFans gets banned? That'd be crazy. In here in Florida, Pornhub is not for free anymore. I checked out the site and it turns out that yeah, it's not free anymore now because of the bullshit. And because Florida, made the law. And now it's you have to either be there as a member or ugh, sign in or go to other sites. Christ. Try to find another mix. Hold up a second. For anyways. Oh yeah. They said bring back MySpace. Bless you with your follow and take away both. OnlyFans is a thing because females isolate, ignore, and disrespect and don't care about men in general and specifically older men. Blame narcissist women for OnlyFans popularity. Take away both, please. Take both of them away. Take away both. Take away both. Take away both. I mean, at this way, yeah, take away both of them. Either someone's trying to do some toxic influence in TikTok, or trying to like, open their legs for OnlyFans, if that's the case. But I don't think that is, because sex sells. All right, we have the freedom of expression here. That's another thing. Be mindful that yeah, you need to have, you need to stay that you have to cleanse yourself from sin. But most of these motherfuckers are hypocrites. Those who say, I'm pure to God, I'm pure to God, I know I am, will likely will tell you, I sin. In the name of the faith, God chooses sinners. They choose to save sinners so they don't sin. Me on the other hand, I'm just like, what? You got to do some the good 10 Commandments. Yet you're still allowed. You're gonna protect those who are doing crime. I don't understand that. That's my opinion. I've been so many times to church when I was a kid, and I get bored of it. I get bored of it. I just say, I just say, I heard you say. One. Alright, now I'm gonna do another one. Right here, the toes. Drawing lizard legs is exactly like you draw Bugs Bunny's feet. You know, they have claws. They have four toes, probably five toes. Said. It's hardly. Another one. Let's go check out. Look at that. Women 5 minutes when after TikTok happens. It's like an exorcism, exactly. Ain't that some shit? Damn right, you're gonna miss it. TikTok seen very every good view of this. Shaking my head, I'm gonna miss it. You better, well, get ready to miss it. Get ready to miss that shit. How, well, instead of shutting down TikTok, we shut down the Jewish OnlyFans and Pornhub, or some I'm afraid to do. You guys attack the Jews. It's funny how all these people, I'm not Jewish, but damn, is it funny that all these, both sides hate Jewish people? And it is weird because, yeah, there's Jewish people that hate, that are racist as hell. And then there are Jewish people who are not racist, who are truly like very supportive. And they're not always like those people like oligarchs, some crazy elite shit. Nah, what like, bro, they all hate it. Like, is it funny that right now at this time, well, apparently because everybody loves, like, when Trump become president and well, and Biden, was all blamed, especially from the woke. Both sides. Let's just say it bluntly. Both sides hate Jewish people. Let's just be real. You got one side who blatantly hates Jewish. They blatantly hate the Jews because they claim they killed Jesus Christ. And then you got another side who are anti-Semitic too, hated Jews bluntly because of the crimes being committed in Palestine. Those are not real Jews in Israel. I'm just going to say it straight up. Those are not real Jews in Israel. The people who are attacking Palestinians in Jerusalem and in the cities of like Tel Aviv with the Palestinian community. Jerusalem, most likely, which is the holiest city, supposedly the holiest city on earth, is under fire. I'm gonna be real. That's the government of Israel. Sorry about the whole takedown. I'm saying, let me repeat this, okay? They both hate Jews, but both have different reasons. Conspiracy theorists and diversity, equity, social justice warriors. I still see the right wing as conspiracy theorists at times. I still see them as conspiracy theorists. Let's get this. Keisha shares new video. All right, good luck. Good luck with that. Because your TikTok, because you won't last. You won't last. All I gotta say, you won't last a month in Randall without your freedom of expression, without your gossiping. You probably won't share your best interest to express yourself how, you know, how women's life matters. Because I bet you, as homogenous as China may say, they ain't homogenous. Right? If you were able to learn a single set of English, a single set of Chinese, and you'll hear what they really try to say to you, brother, I hope you get mad at them. I hope you get mad. Ah. Yeah. Right there. Let's see what else. Ah, nice. Body class. I need this. I needed that. I need this. Draw better characters. Yes. A lot of people are telling me. Once again, a lot of people saying shutting down Pornhub would be better. Oh, you know, than shutting down TikTok. Who agrees? But go ahead, shut down. Again. Go ahead. Shut down Pornhub and OnlyFans. Go ahead. Shut down Pornhub and OnlyFans. There are so many different sites just like Pornhub and OnlyFans out there, man. Good luck with that. Look, Senator Rand Paul says the reason was censorship. He exposes TikTok, even offered to have an American board and host its data right here in the United States, and it was declined. I do not believe that banning social media apps. Yeah. Uh, right. I don't know if you're able to hear this. I don't know if you're able to hear this. Yeah, I don't think you guys are hearing this. No. Yeah, you're not able to hear that. It's too low. Volume's too low. But he did say is that, he exposes TikTok to even offer the board and decline. Very disappointed. 107 million Americans express themselves on TikTok on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Um, and it's just wrong for the government to ban it. Yeah, I mean, we got a freedom of expression. We all have a freedom of expression. I think we they dropped out Vine, bro. We had Vine. TikTok is basically Vine, just from China. It's just 170 million on that. They actually offered through our Foreign Investment Committee and overseas foreign investments. They offered to have the data here. They offered to work with Oracle to house the data in the United States. They offered to have an American board. The fact is that it's misreported that it's a Chinese company to begin with. It owned 60% of the company. It's owned by international investors. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they have their own regularities they're trying to put in, which I don't think is acceptable. Not at all. The CCP spying on Americans through TikTok. The government, nah, baby. The U.S. government spying on Americans through the NSA. That's a meme that's already so old right now, so overused. Oh man, I have to check it out over here. Let's go back. All right, let's go check out the other ones. Another one, another one, another one, another tutorial. I'd like to add right there. Yeah, they make good food today. The clip of random cashier recognizing me by my voice on TikTok. Oh yeah.
And I remember thinking, damn, I can't wait till I can make enough money to afford a two-bedroom. And then I did. I made enough money to afford a two-bedroom. And then I needed a three. And it's like no matter how hard you work to get to that place, by the time you get there, inflation then jack the prices up again. So now, it's just like, God damn, no matter how hard you work, you can't outwork inflation. And it's like they want us to be homeless so damn bad.
I'm 28 years old. I was in the Air Force for literally 7 years. Half of my 20s I spent in active duty military. I have thousands of hours of experience. I've been working since I was 13 years old. I've worked in hospitals, eating disorder rehabilitations, centers, residential centers.
Wait, what?
I've worked as a barista. I have customer service. I've worked on the telephone lines. I've worked as a florist. I've literally done almost everything. I'm a full-time college student on my GI Bill. Where I live, the average rent is at least $2,800 to $3,000 a month, just for like literally black mold, horrible like living situations. Like it's just disgusting. Tell me why. Like I'm almost done with my degree, and I have so much experience like in the nutrition world and like healthcare, all that stuff. I have my associate's degree in health service management. Every job that is that's open, that's hiring, is literally like it's like $15 an hour.
Hmm?
Can somebody explain to me in crayon eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live?
You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so.
Yeah, like that one already. I think that people already saw that with Asmongold. That people already know Asmongold one. Since TikTok gone, bro. Oh no. Me watching Gen Alpha because of a TikTok fan. Nope, that's a wrong one. It's Gen Z. The exact moment to every single brand. TikTok baddies, really. We saw a lot of bad boy video. Oops, that I should not see. Yeah, for real. But let's go check out YouTube. Let's go check out YouTube. What they got to say on TikTok. They're probably not doing a live stream right now too. Bro, I can't believe they had a titty showing! A titty showing! What do they have over here? There's nothing recording live. Hmm. Right here. I think that's what they said right here.
But yeah, here's kind of the thing. How many of you guys are actually, you know what? Let's do a poll. Let's do another poll real quick. Let's do another poll. Let's get another poll going on here real quick. Let's see what we got. I don't need a VPN. I'm in Brazil. Let me get another poll going on. Let me go here. Start a poll. Is TikTok getting banned good or bad? Good, bad. I'm gonna let you guys vote. Is TikTok getting banned good or bad? Go ahead and vote. Do you guys agree? Well, actually, I'm not going to phrase the question like that. This isn't a question as to whether or not you agree with it. This is a question as to whether or not it is a good or bad thing. Is it good or bad? Are you happy that it's getting banned, or are you sad that it's getting banned? 57% says good. 57%, 43% say bad. So here's what sucks about it, right? Is like, yeah. Now, personally, I think it's a bad thing. Now, the reason
Oh
why
boy,
I
I'm
think it's
getting
a bad thing
nervous.
is because I don't think I don't think the American government should be telling me what I can and can't download on my phone, right? I don't really, that doesn't feel very American to me, brother. You know what I mean? I don't really like that. But on the same, the same side of the coin, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of really dumb stuff on TikTok, right? There's a lot of like really stupid stuff. But at the same time, it's like, look at how many Roblox creators are like potentially like losing their career here. Like Roblox TikTokers.
Oh yeah.
Like famous Roblox TikTokers. Like start naming TikTokers, chat. Like so many Roblox YouTubers that are popular now either are big on TikTok or got started on TikTok. Right? So there's a lot of Roblox YouTubers that Roblox TikTokers that could potentially be losing their job tomorrow, which is not good. Talia, Lana, Vanilla Bean, Ellis Paris, yeah, exactly. CapCut is gone. CapCut will be getting deleted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lana's got what, like 7 million followers on TikTok. That's going to go gone, you know? Crazy. Charlie, Charlie, lot of people. What, CapCut? Yeah, CapCut's getting deleted too because it's not TikTok getting banned, it's the company that owns TikTok, and they also own CapCut. So CapCut will be gone as well. Yeah, CapCut will be getting deleted too. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I love how you guys are like, okay, you can take TikTok, but not CapCut. And then what also sucks is like a lot of Roblox games got popular because of TikTok. Like Dress to Impress would not be as popular today as it is without TikTok. You know what I mean? Like TikTok is like this game is TikTok. Like a lot
No,
of the Roblox developers that rely.
it's not. TikTok, Roblox has been around since the 2000s. When the first Roblox came out, mm, it was online. It's been around more than that, more than this TikTok thing. TikTok was only born in 2015, from what I can remember, and I was in high school at the time, like around sophomore, I think. But TikTok has been around only for 2015. Roblox was been around like since I was in elementary school. So I'm born 2000. I was born in 2000, y'all. I was born in 2000, so I know my history. And therefore, I remember there was things that were so limited in Roblox, the arts, that kind of stuff. Those were iconic. And there were people make their own creations. We play like previous games that are like created by professional developers, but they're like very unknown. To say, and then there are those that are made by kids. And kids play Roblox, a lot of Roblox. You know, and you earn credits. And this was before you even do cryptocurrency. This was all before that. It was just for everybody to have fun. Throughout the 2010s, which is kind of like my favorite decade of all, that things become more corporate. That's where most of it reached to YouTube. But yet again, TikTok wasn't there until 2015. No, 2015 to 2016, around there. TikTok was not around. We had Snapchat. That shit went gone. We had Vine. That shit went gone. We had we had those. but TikTok is only I know it's been isn't been around since until 2015.
On TikTok to promote their games and get their games out there and stuff like that's going to be gone now too. So like it really sucks. There's a lot of small businesses here in America that use TikTok to advertise and sell stuff. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. A lot of people are going to be losing their jobs, which is not good. Not like it's I don't know. It's like yeah, it's dumb. TikTok. There's a lot of dumb stuff on TikTok, but I think once you realize how many jobs that like these are people that aren't going to be able to afford food tomorrow, because TikTok is getting
Oh
banned.
shit! I didn't block.
Um, it's crazy. I'm looking on Twitter to see if there's any recent news. Here's Corey Kenshin. Well, this is it, guys. Since TikTok is going to get banned in the U.S., send me your funniest TikToks for one last try not to laugh. There's Corey Kenshin right there. Corey Kenshin with the TikTok ban. Here's TikTok's statement. I wonder if I can DM TikTok. I'll DM TikTok and be like, guys, can I interview you on my stream right now? Man, yeah, Wendy's over here. Can't believe we're getting TikTok banned before GTA 6.
That's true, yeah.
I'm not going to show this one, dude. Oh, man. Queso says that he will enter the TikTok server rooms in order to prevent a potential U.S. ban. I'll stand in the TikTok server room and say, if you're going to shut this down, you have to go through me. I don't think that's how that works, so that was funny, dude. Oh, man. TikTok's in the chat. Yo, what's up, TikTok? How you doing? TikTok? What's going on? Man, it's yeah, here it is. TikTok will close in less than 24 hours. There it is, chat.
Oh that's true, baby.
Oh man, crazy. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Like, what's going through your mind right now? Like, what's happening? Talk to me. What's going on? Let's read the chat. What do you guys think about this TikTok situation right now? What do y'all think about what's going on here? This is bad. Not good. Drama in my school and more. First Vine, then TikTok. Yeah, maybe they should bring back Vine. I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe they should do that. Maybe they should bring Vine back.
Yeah, for real. Like what? I think 2016. That was when Vine was wild. In 2016, 2017, used to be Vine. No, much more than that. It was 26 around 2014 to 2016 or 18. That's where it used to be Vine. The 2010s were some shit. I miss it. I miss the 2010s. I miss the 2010s, doc. I really miss the 2010s. I don't know what. Like, I need my 2010s back. I want to go back to the 2010s, babe. Hold on a second. Right. But yeah, like TikTok is gonna be going down. That's for sure. What else do they have over there? Me, I never use TikTok. Oh yeah, right here. Remember this one.
look.
This is some shit right there, right?
Why the long face? People keep changing. Is that such a bad thing? I mean, what? You want to stay here? These people are having fun. These people are stuck in the past.
Max, he's here. Anything you need.
How are they?
Great.
Who was that?
What do you mean?
She's not even the same race.
For real. That's some shit. Queso said he'll answer TikTok server rooms. Yeah, all this shit I seen already. We already saw all that shit. I don't want to see that. Yeah. Anyways.
CapCut's the only app I can edit on. Let me make sure. Is CapCut getting banned? Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, look. So CapCut is not explicitly named
Cap.
in the bill. However, the bill does say any other apps or services provided by ByteDance, which CapCut does fall into that. So, I mean, CapCut does fall into that. So, I don't know. Let's see. Is there like a here we go, right here. Hold on, let me read this. What happens with CapCut if TikTok gets banned? All right, here it is right here. So TikTok could be banned in the U.S. if the platform's Chinese parent company ByteDance does not sell it by Sunday, January 19th. TikTok is not the only platform that ByteDance owns and operates. Video editing service CapCut is another. As Sunday inches closer, creators who use CapCut for video editing and TikTok video sharing are growing concerned
Right.
about the future. How many of you guys use CapCut? Type 1 in the chat if you use CapCut. Type 1 in the chat if you guys use CapCut. CapCut is a free video editing software released by ByteDance in 2020. As of Thursday, it's the second most downloaded photo and video app in the App Store, which is crazy. So a lot of you guys use CapCut. A lot of you guys. Okay. So CapCut is not explicitly named in the bill. However, it does say that any other applications or service development provided by ByteDance, therefore it could be affected. TikTok nor CapCut responded for comment when contacted. Lemon8 is another social media app owned by ByteDance that may be banned in the US on Sunday. So yeah, we got TikTok, we got CapCut, and we got Lemon8. Those are the three apps that are owned by TikTok refugee that are owned by ByteDance. So look, here's the reality. The majority of people in the U.S. government, like, hold on, look at this. What is the average age of the U.S. government? So the average age of the U.S. government is like 64 years old. Okay?
Yes.
It's like 64.
Baby
Like,
boomers.
this
Dinosaurs.
to like almost 70. Right? So you have a bunch of 70-year-old dudes and women that probably don't even know how to check their Facebook account. So is CapCut going to get banned? I'm gonna be honest, they probably don't even know what CapCut is. The only reason they know about TikTok is because their grandkids use it, right? I'm gonna be 100%, right? Like, you know that all these old people in the government, they have no idea how any of this works. You know, they got no clue. So like the bill says that all ByteDance apps will be banned. CapCut is owned by ByteDance. I even believe if you go in the App Store and you look up CapCut, it says ByteDance under it, I believe. Let me make sure real quick. Yeah, it does. It does. It does say ByteDance. It says ByteDance. Yep. ByteDance LLTD or LTD. ByteDance PTE LTD. Yeah, right. Let me make sure I'm not leaking anything. Right, right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says developer ByteDance right there. Y'all see that? Developer ByteDance. So
ByteDance like a
yeah,
video
TikTok
editor.
should be getting banned. TikTok should be getting banned. I use CapCut for edit. Yeah, I know. I don't care about TikTok. I just want my CapCut. Here's what I would do. Because no one really knows what's going to happen when this like ban takes effect. If you have like projects or videos that are saved on TikTok, that are saved on CapCut, I would download those now. Because what could happen is it could turn midnight and then CapCut could just get deleted off off the App Store, no longer work, no longer open. That could happen, or that may not happen. I would take the precaution and download it for sure. Final Cut Pro is an alternative. Yeah, that's an alternative for sure. Now, as a YouTuber, there's a part of me like as a YouTuber, it's like, well, if TikTok is getting banned and I'm a YouTuber, that means everybody on TikTok is gonna come to YouTube. So I mean, while
They're all going to Red Note. That's all. They're all going to Red Note. Well, ain't that some shit? You're all going to Red Note, and they're gonna find out what will happen. That all that shit, all their freedom of expression, all the things that they want to bring out, especially on gossip, gender equality, and all that stuff. You're gonna find out the hard way.
To shut down. You might have seen customers react to the
Right
US
here.
government
Listen,
trying to
brother.
ban TikTok over concerns that its Chinese parent company could exert too much control and provide information to the Chinese government by downloading a TikTok clone that is literally run by the Chinese government. I mean, it's called Red Note after
Exactly.
How did we get here? Now, as
Literally, that's the CCP.
foreign-owned tech platform operating on American devices. Chinese technology company ByteDance launched the app in 2016. It now has over 1.5 billion active users, including about 150 million Americans. Now, many Americans make their living by making short films on the app, and TikTok's creators say that other social media platforms lack TikTok's organic reach and collaboration tools. Some have said, quote, they have posted the same content on other platforms for years, but only TikTok has fostered their communities and allowed them to reach broad audiences. Now, the people who serve in Congress generally don't grow up with social media platforms. The average age of a senator is 64, and the average age of a House member is 58. And that might be one reason members of Congress struggle with the implications of modern technology, which obviously is global. But for better or worse, the government is responsible for protecting the country from foreign threats, but it also has a duty to ensure Americans have civil liberties. Now, the courts traditionally defer to the federal government in matters of national security. And along those lines, on April 24th, 2024, Congress enacted the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. The law prohibits the distribution, maintenance, or provision of internet hosting services for applications controlled by foreign adversaries. The act identifies China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran as foreign adversaries of the United States who are not eligible to purchase apps. The law officially bars Americans from using apps controlled by those countries. And the law requires ByteDance specifically to sell TikTok to remove, quote, foreign adversary control. And failure to comply results in a ban within 270 to 360 days. Now, the Supreme Court generally considers laws targeting specific speech as presumptively unconstitutional. In 2020, Donald Trump issued 2 executive orders banning TikTok, but the federal courts blocked both of those. So many legal commentators felt the new law was also on shaky ground. So when this new law was passed, TikTok and a group of its users sued the government, once again arguing that the act is an unconstitutional intrusion on free speech rights. Quote, by banning all online platforms and software applications offered by TikTok and all ByteDance subsidiaries, Congress has made a law curtailing massive amounts of protected speech. Unlike broadcast television and radio stations, which require government licenses to operate because they use the public airwaves, the government cannot, consistent with the First Amendment, dictate the ownership of newspapers, websites, online platforms, and other privately created speech forums. Now, TikTok claimed that it's an American company headquartered in Culver City, California, which means it has First Amendment rights. Thus, TikTok alleged that courts should apply a legal standard called strict scrutiny. Now, when it comes to reviewing government regulation, what level of scrutiny the court applies is usually the entire ballgame. When a court applies strict scrutiny, the government must show that the law is the least restrictive means of advancing a compelling governmental interest. And that is a very, very hard standard to meet. Strict scrutiny applies when a law regulates fundamental rights like freedom of speech. Now, normally when courts are reviewing governmental regulation, if it doesn't involve a fundamental right, the courts apply what's called rational basis review, which basically means if the court can find any rational basis for a particular law, it will uphold that law. Basically, any law that's reviewed under rational basis review is going to be upheld, and basically any law that's reviewed under strict scrutiny is not going to pass muster and then will be found to be not constitutional. And then there's a third option that's sort of a combination of the two. It's sort of right down the middle. It's called intermediate scrutiny. That's used when laws involve a right, but one that's not fundamental. Now, the US government argued that the act doesn't implicate the First Amendment at all. The government rejected plaintiffs' assertion that TikTok is a US company entitled to free speech rights because it's a subsidiary of ByteDance. And ByteDance, as a foreign company, does not receive free speech rights. But what about TikTok's American?
Let me hear this all over
Now,
again.
the courts traditionally defer to the federal government in matters of national security.
Let me hear this
Along
all
those lines, on
again.
April 24th, 2024, Congress enacted the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. The law prohibits the distribution, maintenance, or provision of internet hosting services for applications controlled by foreign adversaries. The act identifies China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran as foreign adversaries of the United States who are not eligible to purchase apps. The law officially bars Americans from using apps controlled by those countries. And the law requires ByteDance specifically to sell TikTok to remove, quote, foreign adversary control. And failure to comply results in a ban within 270 to 360 days. Now, the Supreme Court generally considers laws targeting specific speech as presumptively unconstitutional. In 2020, Donald Trump issued 2 executive orders banning TikTok, but federal courts blocked both of those. So many legal commentators felt the new law was also on shaky ground. So when this new law was passed, TikTok and a group of its users sued the government, once again arguing that the act is an unconstitutional intrusion on free speech rights. Quote, by banning all online platforms and software applications offered by TikTok and all ByteDance subsidiaries, Congress has made a law curtailing massive amounts of protected speech. Unlike broadcast television and radio stations, which require government licenses to operate because they use the public airwaves, the government cannot, consistent with the First Amendment, dictate the ownership of newspapers, websites, online platforms, and other privately created speech forums. Now, TikTok claimed that it's an American company headquartered in Culver City, California, which means it has First Amendment rights. Thus, TikTok alleged that courts should apply a legal standard called strict scrutiny. Now, when it comes to reviewing government regulation, what level of scrutiny the court applies is usually the entire ballgame. When a court applies strict scrutiny, the government must show that the law is the least restrictive means of advancing a compelling governmental interest. And that is a very, very hard standard to meet. Strict scrutiny applies when a law regulates fundamental rights like freedom of speech. Now, normally when courts are reviewing governmental regulation, if it doesn't involve a fundamental right, the courts apply what's called rational basis review, which basically means if the court can find any rational basis for a particular law, it will uphold that law. Basically, any law that's reviewed under rational basis review is going to be upheld, and basically any law that's reviewed under strict scrutiny is not going to pass muster and then will be found to be not constitutional. And then there's a third option that's sort of a combination of the two. It's sort of right down the middle. It's called intermediate scrutiny. That's used when laws involve a right, but one that's not fundamental. Now, the US government argued that the act doesn't implicate the First Amendment at all. The government rejected plaintiffs' assertion that TikTok is a US company entitled to free speech rights because it's a subsidiary of ByteDance. And ByteDance, as a foreign company, does not receive free speech rights. But what about TikTok's American users? Well, the government claimed that the act doesn't regulate their speech at all. Americans remain free to say whatever they want on other platforms, and in fact, they would continue to be free to say whatever they wanted in a post-divestiture version of TikTok. The government argued that the court should use the rational basis test, which is the lowest level of review, and not surprisingly, the government argued for rational basis review. And as we talked about, the standard there is that the government's actions have to be rationally related to a legitimate government interest. That is an extremely, extremely low bar. The government can usually come up with a rational reason, meaning basically any reason whatsoever, that is related to a legitimate government interest, meaning basically any governmental interest at all.
Yeah, but basically by regulations, I mean, it said, that goes by the process and regulations depending on what the person can say or not say. But yet again, this is a free country. That's all. It's a free country. You can do what you want. You can say what you want. Let people get mad at you. Let people cheer for you. Let people say whatever you want to say. But there is a level to that. That we think we can be whoever we want to be until the snake bites the hand. The snake bites the hand, and that kind of stuff. ByteDance didn't know that when ByteDance came around, It's like for video edits and all that stuff. Because they do that around good speech. Good speech. And then until then they had Meta also copied by Mark Zuckerberg. I think he copied a bit of the tactics of Mike Dennett's Motors. Trying to re-update Meta. This was during the time of the metaverse and shit like that. During the time of the metaverse. That happens with Mike Dennett's. But that has to be, para utilizar sobre que hizo el gobierno. And the government can fuck you over many times. The government can fuck you over many times. That's what Ronald Reagan in the 1980s said. I don't trust the government, but I trust the Constitution, something like that. Patriotic, yeehaw, look at this photograph by Nickelback kind of patriotic. Telling you some really true words and keeping it real to you and to respect.
All the government has to do is show that there's a hypothetical connection between the interest and the statute's goals. So this litigation went up on appeal. In TikTok versus Garland, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia upheld the constitutionality of the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. Now, the first question for the court was what standard of review to apply. And the court said, quote, "We conclude that the act implicates the First Amendment and is subject to heightened scrutiny. Whether strict scrutiny or intermediate scrutiny applies is a closer question. The relevant portions of the act are facially content neutral, but the government arguably based its content manipulation justification for the act upon the content on the platform. We think it only prudent, therefore, to assume without deciding that the higher standard applied." Now, side note, what does a court mean when it says it assumes without deciding that a certain standard applies? Well, the court is declining to rule as a matter of law that a particular standard applies, usually because the outcome of a case would be the same regardless of which standard the court used. And in something that basically never happens, the Court of Appeals ruled that the government could clear the high bar set by strict scrutiny. Part 1 of the test is whether the government has a compelling interest. And the Court of Appeals said, quote, "The government offered 2 national security justifications. 1, to counter the PRC's efforts to collect great quantities of data about tens of millions of Americans, and 2, to limit the PRC's ability to manipulate content covertly on the TikTok platform. The former does not reference the content of speech or reflect disagreement with an idea or message. The court agreed with the government that China posed a, quote, hybrid commercial threat because it had adopted laws that enable it to access and use data held by Chinese companies. Now, does the US have any evidence that China has leveraged these relationships to access American data? Well, it's classified, apparently. Now, all this was appealed to the Supreme Court, and in the government's brief there, Attorney General Merrick Garland said Congress has received classified security briefings about TikTok. Theoretically, a court could have ordered the government to produce evidence from these briefings in an in-camera review, meaning a secret review, which would ensure the information was kept secret, but so far no court has asked the government to provide evidence of those briefings. So the national security threats are hypothetical. The government predicts that if the Chinese government asked TikTok to, quote, manipulate content for censorship, propaganda, or other malign purposes, TikTok would try to comply with that order. But TikTok asserted that the government's concerns about data collection were made in bad faith. America is the only member of the G7 without a federal data privacy legislation or unified approach to data governance. TikTok and many other apps collect large swaths of data about its users, including device information, IP address, keystroke patterns, activity across devices, browsing and search history, etc., and location data. Now, this is my opinion, but if data collection is a national security threat, then maybe Congress should pass a data privacy law stopping Twitter and Facebook from collecting the same data as TikTok. Just a thought. But the Court of Appeals saw things differently. Quote, that the act does not fully solve the data collection threat posed by the PRC does not mean it was not a step in the right direction. And the court quoted liberally from the government's brief, stating, quote, as Assistant Director of National Intelligence, Casey Blackburn explained, the PRC is the most active and persistent cyber espionage threat to the U.S. government, private sector, and critical infrastructure networks. Its hacking program spans the globe and is larger than that of every other major nation combined. The PRC has pre-positioned itself for potential cyber attacks against U.S. critical infrastructure by building out offensive weapons within that does not mean it was not approach to data governance. TikTok and many other apps collect large swaths of data about its users, including device information, IP address, keystroke patterns, activity across devices, browsing and search history, etc., and location data. Now, this is my opinion, but if data collection is a national security threat, then maybe Congress should pass a data privacy law stopping Twitter and Facebook from collecting the same data as TikTok. Just a thought. But the Court of Appeals saw things differently. Quote, that the act does not fully solve the data collection
Yeah, I
threat
know.
posed by
I have
the
to wake
PRC
myself up.
does not mean it was not a step in the right direction. And the court quoted liberally from the government's brief, stating, quote, as Assistant Director of National Intelligence, Casey Blackburn explained, the PRC is the most active and persistent cyber espionage threat to the U.S. government, private sector, and critical infrastructure networks. Its hacking program spans the globe and is larger than that of every other major nation combined.
Yeah, another one thing about that. Yeah, like he said about the whole TikTok thing. Yeah, why not do that? Because I go to Twitter X too. I go to places like this. You see funny shit here, and they all go fucking ape shit about like adult content being allowed there. I see like titties and all kinds of stuff just showing up there in Twitter X. In Elon Musk's X, keep that in mind. Some of the most hideous, fucked up shit to watch that I see. And yet, they're afraid that there's a cyber attack happening on TikTok, coming from this app called TikTok. Ain't that a low blow? Because if that is the case, then we Americans should be responsible for doing cyber attacks as well. I mean, we're a first world country. We have a lot of cyber technology. We have a lot of technology. But that goes to Meta too. Just if they allow things to say whatever they say, but they're also spying on us, who's to say that in Twitter that we created, we are spying on China? We're spying on everybody around the world. We're spying on our own selves. And I collect that information. For me, even if I don't know if they don't see my information if I delete collective data or cache when you go to press option on your cell phone or deleting your history or clear history in Twitter or social media or your computer. Maybe I don't know that unless they do collect that too. That's just my wonder too.
PRC has pre-positioned itself for potential cyber attacks against U.S. critical infrastructure by building out offensive weapons within that infrastructure. Consistent with that assessment, the government has found persistent PRC access in U.S. critical telecommunications, energy, water, and other infrastructure. And the court noted that a bipartisan group of legislators concluded that China tracks user data. Quote, of particular relevance to the government's first justification for the act, the PRC has engaged in extensive and years-long efforts to accumulate structured datasets, in particular on U.S. persons to support its intelligence and counterintelligence operations. So the court found that the government's two national security justifications were compelling state interests. And it's not surprising that the court deferred to the federal government's judgment about the severity of the national security threats. However, that's only the first part of the strict scrutiny test analysis. In part 2 of the test, the government has to show that the law is narrowly tailored to that interest or that it's the least speech-restrictive means available to the government. But TikTok proposed a number of less speech-restrictive options that they argued could have satisfied the government's goals without burdening speech. Quote, these include disclosure or reporting requirements, the government using speech of its own to counter any alleged foreign propaganda, limiting TikTok's collection of location and contact data, and extending the ban of TikTok on government devices to government employees' personal devices. But the court rejected these options, instead agreeing with the government that data collection and content manipulation are not the type of harm that can be remediated by disclosure. Traditionally, the remedy for speech we disagree with is more speech. That's a foundational aspect of the First Amendment. But here the court rejects this principle entirely. Quote, the idea that the government can simply use speech of its own to counter the risk of content manipulation by the PRC is likewise naive. The court said, quote, the petitioner's attempt to frame the use of government speech as a means of countering alleged foreign propaganda is beside the point. It is the secret manipulation of the content on TikTok, not foreign propaganda, that poses a grave threat to national security. No amount of government speech can mitigate that threat nearly as effectively as divestiture. The court also dismissed the TikTok creators' argument that the government could achieve its goals by banning TikTok from collecting the data. Quote, the data collection risks identified by the government include the PRC's ability to use TikTok for bulk collection of data and for targeted collection on individuals. But frankly, it's possible that the court is the one that misunderstands the bulk collection risks, not the TikTok creators. Lots of websites and social media platforms collect the same information about its users, and sometimes more. Again, the US does not have a comprehensive data privacy law, and the court says that the government can't monitor what TikTok does, so it would have no way of knowing whether the app complied with the data collection regulations. As a result, the court says the only option that would meet the government's goals is full divestiture. But frankly, divestiture wouldn't even stop the data collection practices either. Say, for example, that ByteDance did sell the app to somebody else. That app is still free under American law to collect all that information and sell it. That means the law is wildly under-inclusive. And the law doesn't even apply to American companies like Facebook, which arguably has worse data collection and privacy practices than TikTok does. And TikTok also argued the law is over-inclusive, which means it includes more people and entities than it needs to achieve the law's purpose. The act applies to, quote, another ByteDance product, CapCut, that can be used to edit videos on various platforms, including TikTok, but does not collect user data or present an opportunity for PRC manipulation of content. But the Court of Appeals concluded that everything related to ByteDance is theoretically just as harmful as TikTok. And as for TikTok's free speech argument, the court said that the government is actually furthering free speech rather than hindering it. A foreign government threatens to distort free speech on an important medium of communication. Using its hybrid commercial strategy, the PRC has positioned itself to manipulate public discourse on TikTok in order to serve its own ends. The PRC's ability to do so is at odds with free speech fundamentals. Indeed, the First Amendment precludes a domestic government from exercising comparable control over a social media company in the United States. Here, the Congress, as the executive proposed, acted to end the PRC's ability to control TikTok. Understood in that way, the act actually vindicates the values that undergird the First Amendment. But I guess at least the court acknowledged that the act frequently referred to the content of TikTok speech. Quote, in fact, the government identifies a particular topic, Taiwan's relationship to the PRC, as a significant potential flashpoint that may be a subject of the PRC's influence operations, and its declarants identify other topics of importance to the PRC. And yet the court agreed with the government that, quote, the act is not an effort to control the flow of ideas to the public. But TikTok lost in the Court of Appeals and then appealed to the Supreme Court. The justices agreed to fast-track the briefing and held arguments on January 10th, 9 days before the law was set to go into effect. See, when the Supreme Court wants to fast-track something like a private business interest, they can. But it's good that they took 2 years to decide US versus Trump, because that obviously wasn't as important as a dance app. Now, obviously, if you're operating a social media network, you'll want a good lawyer. But if you want a great lawyer, my law firm, the Eagle Team, can help. If you've gotten in a car crash, suffered a data breach, US on Sunday. The court ruled that the US government has a compelling interest in protecting sensitive user data from potential misuse by foreign adversaries, particularly the Chinese government. TikTok apparently poses a significant risk to American citizens because of ByteDance's ties to China, which could enable unauthorized access to personal data of US users. The Supreme Court ruled, quote, there's no doubt that for more than 170 million Americans, TikTok offers a distinctive and expansive outlet for expression, means of engagement, and source of community. But Congress has determined that divestiture is necessary to address its well-supported national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection practices in relationship with a foreign adversary. For the foregoing reasons, we conclude that the challenge provisions do not violate petitioners' First Amendment rights. Now, the first takeaway from this opinion is that the court found that the act was a content-neutral restriction. A restriction is content-based if it regulates speech because of the subject matter, idea, or message being conveyed. Several US lawmakers expressed concerns about Chinese propaganda when they drafted the act. However, the court did not consider evidence suggesting that the act targeted certain viewpoints. Quote, we are especially wary of parsing Congress's motives on this record with regard to an act passed with striking bipartisan support. Now, bipartisan legislation is rare, but that doesn't say anything about whether something is constitutional or not. Now, the court ruled that the government, quote, had a content-neutral justification for the act, quote, preventing China from collecting vast amounts of sensitive data from 170 million US TikTok users. Now, content-neutral laws are generally subject to intermediate scrutiny, which, as we discussed, is less rigorous than strict scrutiny. And just like the DC Circuit, the Supreme Court, quote, assumed without deciding that the challenge provisions fall within this category and are subject to First Amendment scrutiny. So they engage in a First Amendment analysis, just not strict scrutiny, because they claim it's content neutral. Now, the second takeaway from the court's opinion is that the act apparently balanced the government's national security interests with petitioners' First Amendment rights. Quote, the act's prohibitions and divestiture requirements are designed to prevent China, a designated foreign adversary, from leveraging its control over ByteDance Limited to capture the personal data of US TikTok users. This objective qualifies as an important government interest under intermediate scrutiny. Now, how does the act protect the First Amendment rights of the petitioners, including TikTok and Americans who use the app? Well, as to the company's rights, it doesn't impose an outright ban, meaning the company can still operate in the US if it satisfies the conditional divestiture requirement, meaning its parent company has to divest. And as for TikTok users, the act does not prevent users from expressing their ideas through other platforms or means. It targets the operational structure of TikTok, not the ability of users to create and share content. And if TikTok is no longer available, users can post the same content to other platforms.
I would too. I did share it on that type of stuff. Share TikTok. I didn't barely use TikTok, but that's the informational part. All that stuff. Because like they have their own kind of stuff on their behalf, some shit like that. I have um think I have a friend of mine as well who also has TikTok. She posts her stuff, a lot of her stuff. And I now wonder what she's gonna do when she's gonna be doing that. She's gonna now tomorrow that officially is gonna be banned. TikTok will be officially banned, that's for sure. Goddamn. Because of within the database, that's by the law and legislation. I didn't really pay attention to much of this shit. I'm just gonna be real with you. I really didn't pay attention to any of this shit. I'm just trying to capture what's so vital. Even in the subtitles, I was like, I'm not paying attention because I'm just so full. I drink water and food every day. But all in all, by law, because this was just owned by the CCP. That it was just analyzing like databases before they officially banned it in their country, or they're still there. Who knows? But RedNote, since everybody's fleeing to RedNote, they're gonna realize that's not the same. Well, or if someone is the same, all I can say is, by that, during the time when TikTok can say whatever they can say here in America because the American laws are different. And I think that's why it got popular, and we thought, and even though it's from China, and everybody around the world still has TikTok. To this day, everybody around the world still has TikTok, but not us. Not us anymore. Not us. A lot of kids are acting like fools. Everybody, one of us, all of us, were acting like damn fools. But it was the freedom of expression, whether you liked it or not. But it does happen because of the legislation did suspect certain like spyware that cyber attacked virtually the system here in the country, attacked it, and then leaked like informations and all that shit, especially here on X, especially on X as well. YouTube did happen on YouTube too, on any country whatsoever, on any country. So these platforms on that behalf. But then I still like, for example, again, there's another platform kind of like YouTube but in China. Everybody knows this because I watch anime. Their anime, the Chinese anime, Donghua anime, Bilibili, that's what they call it, Bilibili. Yeah, which is China's Crunchyroll and YouTube. They're people. China makes their own content. They're content creators, video game developers. They make their games there. I mean, China's known for some like Zenland Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, as well as this new one called Hanana. I think Nanana, something like that. There's just like an anime GTA, basically. China's been banking it on it, especially Bilibili, with the fact that Bilibili's making their own animations, or studios that are promoting that. But it has been set. It's been quite set. But there's not really the only thing that kind of still limits, or just say kind of mediocre to say, it's because there's censorship. There's censorship. They've been censoring. They don't have a freedom of expression there, although they're showing how wondrous this place is. And they're catering, and most people who are catered to that sort of censorship shit is tourists. Tourists who are from some fucking rainbow ass elite alliance or the Avengers, or they're from like the Christian Caliphate who uses that cross, abusively use that cross like it's a battle flag all the way. It's either the weird left, the woke, who are not woke at all. They're just rainbow ass fag ventures or some shit like that. LGBTQ who loves the Chinese Communist Party, up the weirdos. And then you got the other weirdos out there too, who are the Christian Caliphate, the most highly religious. Anything they see is satanic panic. These two people, these two weirdos, are tourists of a niche. And tourists and police units on whatever their narrative want to be. One side saying, fuck yeah, ban TikTok. The other side is, oh no, all right, we're going to Reno. Which, let's just be real again, bro. Like, if only we'd had Snapchat back, but they could have just come back to Instagram. They could come back to X. They could come back to Facebook. We have Instagram Shorts. We already have about Facebook Shorts. We have YouTube Shorts. You can make content there. You can actually make content in YouTube. Like G shit. But there's no hallway about it. There's no hallway about it.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that's what the court's rationale was. The Supreme Court took the government's security rationale seriously, apparently more seriously than President Biden or incoming President Trump, which we will discuss. The court deferred to Congress's determination that the threat was real. Quote, sound policymaking often requires legislators to forecast future events and to anticipate the likely impact of these events based on deductions and inferences for which complete empirical support may be unavailable. And here, apparently, the government's TikTok-related data collection concerns do not exist in isolation. The record reflected that China, quote, has engaged in extensive and years-long efforts to accumulate structured datasets, in particular on U.S. persons, to support its intelligence and counterintelligence operations. And the court believed Congress when it said China is gathering information on U.S. users for nefarious purposes. The government cited Chinese law, which compels companies to turn over information if China demands it, as proof that TikTok posed serious dangers. Now, other applications also hoover up large swaths of American user data, but the court said this case should not be interpreted as limiting what those apps can do with your data. Quote, while we find that differential treatment was justified here, however, we emphasize the inherent narrowness of our holding. Data collection and analysis is a common practice in this digital age, but TikTok's scale and susceptibility to foreign adversary control, together with the vast swaths of sensitive data the platform collects, justify differential treatment to address the government's national security concerns. Now, the government made bold claims about the Chinese government's ability to control messages on the app by manipulating the TikTok algorithm, but the Supreme Court sidestepped that issue. Quote, the record before us adequately supports the conclusion that Congress would have passed the challenge provisions based on the data collection justification alone. So that's it. The law goes into effect. But what happens now? Well, President Biden has the power to grant
taxes was waiting.
Well, what happens now is that all the white girls on TikTok are going to be seething and are going to suffer. You're going to hear cries. A lot of the people on TikTok who uses TikTok in high school, they're all going to cry about it now. They're all going to be seething. They're all going to Reno. That's for sure. It's the final. Oh, Creepcraft. We're about to have it, bro. We're about to say goodbye to it. All right, let's go back. I mean, there's still that.
That's an alternative
It's
for
that.
sure. Now, as a YouTuber, there's a part of me, like, as a YouTuber, it's like, well, if TikTok is getting banned and I'm a YouTuber, that means everybody on TikTok is going to come to YouTube. So, I mean, while I don't like TikTok getting banned, it's like, well, I mean, it's kind of good for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, oh man, dang, this is gonna affect a lot of people's jobs. Yeah, it is. It's 100% going to affect a lot of people's jobs. Like, I didn't even get to 1 million followers on TikTok. I wanted to get to 1 million followers on TikTok, but I didn't. I wanted to get to 1 million followers, but they banned it, chat. They gonna ban it if it'll focus. They gonna ban it. I'm not gonna be able to. Let me update my thoughts on TikTok. Update my thoughts. Goodbye TikTok. Heartbreak emoji. There it is, right there. All right, there we go. Oh man, so that means more views for Creek. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Any other questions? Y'all got any other questions? I got this one video I want to watch. It's like a montage of TikTok. It's like a farewell video of TikTok. Yay, TikTok getting banned. I hope they won't delete CapCut. I got bad news, Donna. Bad news. Got bad news for you. Why is the USA banning TikTok? Because it's owned by China. Now, look, this is something else that also irks me. It's like, yeah, the Chinese government, you know, like spying on people, not good, right? Like, yeah, that's not great. But you know what else is not great? Facebook spying on people, Instagram spying on people, YouTube spying on people. It's like all these American...
White boy, YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube doesn't do that. They can say whatever they can say. People get banned out there on those shit and still come back. Bro, there's a fake Stay Night game, the fake Stay Night, the original one, showing hentai on our shit. They don't do that. They don't boss around with that. I don't think so. If that is the case, then they're spying on you. And you probably know that already. Yeah, you got millions of followers for being controversial. Alright, yeah. So because yeah, they probably do spy on you too. They do spy on everybody. But don't think the way that you can get away with it, I like to say.
American companies, they already spy on you. Like Facebook, you know how much data Facebook collects on you? Like, I don't think anybody should be able to do what they do. You know what I mean? It's like it is legal in the United States of America for a company to get your data and then sell your data to other people, and you can't do anything about it. Like, that's crazy. Like, you know how much data Facebook has sold to China on American citizens? A lot. Like, I find it very hypocritical. It's like, I don't think anybody should be able to spy on anybody. Yeah, using Facebook in 2025. Yeah, exactly. I mean, who's using Facebook in 2025? If you're over the age of 30, you're not using Facebook in 2025. My sister is crying. She has 20,000 followers on TikTok. I'm sorry. Can't you pirate CapCut because it doesn't need the internet to work? Yeah, you could. You could pirate CapCut. You definitely could. CapCut doesn't require the internet to work, so you could. There will be ways to download it. Okay, there will be ways. It won't be on the App Store, but I mean, if you know how to download apps that aren't on the App Store, then yeah, it'll work. Yeah. I mean, there's ways around it. You know what I mean? There's ways around it. My little brother is angry with Congress, and so am I. I know, dude. Like, TikTok's gonna get banned, and then all the 8-year-olds are gonna recreate January 6th. Like,
I wish.
I probably shouldn't make that joke. Oh,
I want to see that.
Oh, there's gonna be like 8-year-olds in the streets, man. It's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna see little toddlers climbing up the walls of Congress. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that is a joke. If the FBI is watching the stream, for legal reasons, that is a joke. Creecraft is by in no way, shape, or form encouraging 8-year-olds to do a January 6th. Okay? In no way, shape, or form. That is a joke. Creecraft specifically discourages 8-year-olds from doing a January 6th. Okay? All right. At least no more scary hackers. Yeah. There won't be any more. There won't be any more TikTok hackers, which kind of sucks. I want to be honest, dude. Like, all my biggest videos are TikTok hackers. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do, dude? I'm gonna have no more hackers to report on, man. Man, it stinks. What happened on January 6th? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, man. How will I find more shows? I know. I know. Anyway, I wanted to play this video. I saw this video on Twitter and I was like, we gotta watch this video, man. We gotta
Yeah,
watch.
too much of that shit. Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say.
TikTok is banned.
Yeah, too much of that shit. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's gonna be a long time. Back to the music. Oh boy. Oh boy. I haven't done shit in a while, so. There you go. I was probably. Yeah, so what all y'all see right there, I think another one person. Biden portraits are coming down, America's healing. What other shit they got us at? Take OnlyFans away from TikTok. What else? Oops. Again with that stuff. My. What else? One second. There you go. Better. Let me just hold up. Let me. Then I go back to my weird stuff. It's TikTok OG and they're all recreating shit before the ban held. This one right here. Yes, I think that was back then. Long ago. Used to be dancing videos. Yeah, this is all from the countdown. Was started by. Oh my god, enough with this, guys. America, we're going to ban TikTok because this Chinese are stealing our data. Me reuniting with my Chinese spy on Red Note. Chinese Americans are now exchanging their medical bills and grocery lists on Little Red Book and comparing prices costs. Cannot believe Luigi and TikTok ban are radicalizing LMFAO. Dude, I remember those gifts right there. I remember those gifts. I definitely remember those gifts. Shit. I definitely remember those animation gifts like that. Xiao Zhongchu, that's what they call it. Xiao Zhongchu. That's what they call it.
You may or may not know it, but there is a good chance that every time you turn your computer on, you may be breaking the law.
Stolen is computer software. It's everywhere. If you have a computer, there's a very good chance that some of the software that you're running has been stolen. It's estimated that this year alone, software piracy will cost manufacturers and retailers almost $15 billion worldwide.
Ah. Let's see what else. Chinese guy, that sounds. Right here it says.
We hate this shit. There's only two gender out here. Male and female. If you are gay, just be gay. Don't talk about you're gay. We all know you're gay. Just don't talk about it. If you're a lesbian, you cool. You cool. If you're LGBTQ, whatever, keep it that shit to yourself. There's no gay marriage out here. That's against the law. So keep that shit to yourself. Don't swing that shit to someone else's daughter or son. Alright? Any political rights out here. We hate this shit. There's only two gender out here. Male and female. If you are gay, just be gay. Don't talk about you're gay. We all know you're gay. Just don't talk about it. If you're a lesbian, you cool. You cool. If you're LGBTQ, whatever, keep that shit to yourself. There's no gay marriage out here. That's against the law. So keep
Or transracial shit. Like transracial and all that politics shit. The government is banning TikTok because dudes are rocking too hard on that platform. They're trying to silence our brothers. That too. That's good videos too. Yet again, I don't use TikTok, so. Oh, Christ, man. The itis. The itis is taking full effect of me, man. See what else I have. This one, another one. Me pulling up on Reddit after the TikTok, man. Xiao Hongshu. Scrolling on TikTok, laughing at my FYP, and then remembering I have 30 minutes left. Yes. Oh my God, what the hell? Who watches it? I think that's the same joke over and over again. Oh yeah. TikTok ban just means more annoying people on Twitter. Shit. APAC, yes, they're talking about Israel too. Too light. Yep. Yeah, Israel. Arguing that a TikTok ban is contrary to free speech is hilarious. This is the same app that taught Gen Z to be too afraid to say the word killed or died. I said kill or die. Fuck. Nigga die. Kill. What you, how you're saying? I don't know what you said. These are all the people who are trying to defend the TikTok thing. Trying to make it all political on their point of standards. Which is I think the reason why that's why TikTok is shutting down is because they went some of the people are being too influenced. And now you got more artists on YouTube streamers. Yeah, all this. All this some really good ones. Well, not really. I don't even use TikTok.